My name is Alexandra Novik-Hamis. I'm an artist and art teacher. I live in Bahrain already for 13 years. I'm from the very small city in Russia, a city called Smolensk. Smolensk is like a very small provincial city, but located not far from Moscow. Well, it's actually 5 hours from Moscow, but it's considered like extremely close to the capital of our country because, Russia is very big, and we have the far is when the city will say 11 days on the train. This is the far one. So my city is pretty close, and considered the student city. We have lots of universities. And in Russia, I've been studying art. I have passion for art all my life. I finished the art studio when I was very small. During my school years, I've been studying in art school too, so like half day in normal school and then half day in art school for 5 years. After that, I enrolled in art university, but even though we have lots of universities, the only university, if you wish to become somehow related to art, you need to finish the teacher training university. You should first become teacher of art to become an artist. So I think it's like makes sense in general. So 5 years of art university, and during that period, I organized a couple of exhibitions. I've been painting non-stop and developing my style in general. So my life basically was all the time around art. Yes, and of course, so while I was already almost finishing university, this is the story. Well, when story moved me a little bit to Bahrain. The story happened is that my sister, actually, I have the only sister, and she moved to Bahrain with her husband. Her husband was from Guatemala, which is also like totally different country. We have very international family. And they moved to Bahrain, and we never heard about this place in general, as like a lot of in general Russians never heard, especially from the small city. And when my sister moved, me and my mom and dad, we moved to visit her here, and it was around 15 years ago, I remember, and I loved it. I loved it. Not only me, my mom and dad as well. We fell in love with Bahrain, with this, the vibe, the architecture, the coziness, yes, like we visited Europe and we'll say Dubai, but it's all beautiful. But Bahrain, there was soul and specific, Arabic, this mood with traditions, which I personally really loved. And when I finished university, I actually had this idea that I would really love to try to live here. Really, on that period, I didn't have like a lot of my friends who had job here or came here as stewardess, they moved for husbands. Me on that period, I had only sister here. So my parents really supported me to try to move here with sister. Plus, I helped my sister because she had daughter on that period. So it was 13 years ago when I moved first time to Bahrain. When I moved to Bahrain, I was full of hopes, and of course I helped my sister, but I was full of hopes and wishes to bring art and culture to the Middle East in general, and as much not only my own, but also as a teacher to bring the knowledge and also my technique, the certain Russian, and you may know that Russia in general is very popular for cultural, we are all obsessed with culture, starting with ballet, with the music, playing instruments, again, painting, creating sculptures. We are like obsessed, and we have one of the best, education in this case. So I really hoped that my value here could be, recognized, and I could really bring something to this country. And when I moved here, I realized that, I didn't have experience. I would say like this. I didn't have experience, and in the start, to work in the schools, it was a bit difficult because every school wanted us at least a bit experience. So in that period, again, my parents helped me a lot, and I started to do the tutoring. I started to teach privately students of every age, starting with 4-year-old till 84-year-old. And I've been doing it for a couple of years, meanwhile searching for work in school. And I've been lucky, and I've been working in the BSB, British School of Bahrain, for 3 years, which actually was amazing job, and it was amazing in the sense of experience. I learned a lot. In the British school, I've been working for 3 years, and it was amazing experience. I've been teaching lots of classes. I've been teaching mostly high school. So here I actually learn a lot about preparation students for exams, especially in the British educational universities, because again, my knowledge of the, we'll say, Russian curriculum and everything was a bit different. So here I got like lots of experience, and I started including this knowledge also in my own classes. During the period of teaching there, as well as that, I started developing my art studio. I actually opened the art studio called Palitra in Bahrain. It's a studio, small studio, where not only I'm painting, but I teach people to paint, again, all ages. It's a place for the only place with academic approach. The only place where I can teach, the classical education, classical art. Sometimes adults come for relaxation, for meditation, they're coming for painting, after work as a hobby. Some adults come because they want to actually change career, and I help them. I help them not only with the skills, but I will help them how to become an artist, how to make the web page, social medias. I can help to promote, and so on. Kids, same story, only serious approach, like an art school. So since that moment, I started to also, while I was teaching in the school, I've been also teaching in my art studio. Yes, and during the period, like a little bit after, I've been also a teacher of Russian language. I'm not extremely into the career of teaching languages, even though I love them. But I've been teaching the Russian language in AMA University as well for only 1 year. And like this, meanwhile, while I was getting all this experience and inspiration from Bahraini people as well, I've been developing my own style during that period, and for me opening a couple of exhibitions and participating in several of them. I've been also invited for multiple interviews, and I would honestly say that almost every Bahraini magazine and newspaper in some period of time wrote an article about me or interview, because again, I felt that I'm becoming like at home here. I'm not anymore Russian artist, but rather Bahraini artist, or I would say like, mixed. During that period, I'm getting an award as one of the most successful businesswomen in the Gulf. And I was in the list with many successful, Bahraini women who was also part of the culture, some was part of the business, and so on. So I was really happy. And after this recognition, I understood that I need to move on. I need to move on with my art even more serious. So in that period of time, as well as that, we got an recognition. Somehow Russia recognized that there is a Russian lady who is actually, in Bahrain, doing art and creating something, important. And it was the period when the Russian channels, a couple of channels arrived here and took interviews with me and my husband. And I've been participating in the show called Middle Eastern Wives, where basically it's kind of a TV show where the Russian-speaking women getting married to Arabic men, and we're telling our stories. After this show, which was till now showing on a couple of the channels, I get also recognized pretty much. Yes, during that period, I'm continuing working on in my art studio, teaching. I understood that culture, Bahrain really love art, and Bahrain really cultural, but this niche of academic art was still pretty empty, and I understood that I could feel it because people was really eager to learn really academical, serious art, and I was very happy, and I understood that I'm bringing some value to this country in that point. my love for Bahrain only was growing during this period. I loved everything about Bahrain, really, till now. When I have some people who just come to Bahrain, Russian speaking, and I tell how I loved everything. I could not even say any negative thing about Bahrain because I loved culture. I love this Arabic vibe, as I said in this very start, which I felt here. The true Arabic vibe. Not just like in movies, but like original. I loved the modest fashion. I loved how everything, Bahrain at the same time very tolerant country, but I love this modesty. I loved architecture. I love that it's a big city, but in the same time it's a kind of small one, if you know what I mean. So I love this this part of it. About favorite places, I personally really love Vanvanch because I live here, but I love the seaside, of course. One of the, I think, beauty, one of the beauty here is the seaside, the sea, the Gulf in general, it's look amazing. Of course, I love Muharraq. I'm big, my soul, I gave my soul to Muharraq area. I'm talking about the old streets. I'm talking about market. I'm talking again about this raw beauty in a way. I love how nowadays this area become more tourist related, and it's amazing. I think it's amazing. So for me, these old buildings, it's a soul exactly of Bahrain. I had a couple of friends also. I have like a couple of Bahraini ladies who are my friends, and I loved that one time they told me that you're more Bahraini sometimes than us. And I could understand that because I had, first of all, there's two reasons for this. First of all, my parents are pretty strict and I could relate with them, and I loved it. Like now already when you grow up, you understand it, that it's a good thing. And I could relate to the, Arabic parents, I would say like this. Second thing, that in general, my small city, we are very conservative in a way. So also in the way how we're dressing up, it's not like in the big cities of Russia. So again, it's very related to the Arabic style, in Arabic, modesty, in Arabic, proud, how they're proud, especially when we talk about, Bahraini people, how proud they are that they're Bahraini, especially when they dress up on the National Day. I love it. Have a lot of national Arabic, Arabic and Bahraini specific dresses, which I love to wear. So I would say that I could not say any, something which I didn't like about country. From very start, and after 13 years, actually in my heart, only love for Bahrain is, growing. Regarding food, I love Arabic food, but I would say that most of it. But of course, when we're talking about Ramadan food, which is the best, when we talk about gaimat or, sambusa and everything, all of this, I think, of course, is everybody's favorite, but as well as that, mine. So as I've been telling that all my life in Bahrain is rounding around art in general anyway. Every day of my life, I'm creating something. I'm painting. I go for exhibition. I'm meeting students. I'm meeting artists, sculptors. I'm participating in any artistic event. I'm there. Of course, I got a lot of friends through my classes. So because again, my classes are, there's a lot of adults who are coming for, learning new skills, and some just for hobbies. So I got a lot of friends through my art lessons. And one day, my husband. My future husband on that point came to learn how to paint. So he came to learn how to paint, and that's how we met. And here I want to tell that he never left, but no, I'm joking. After that, actually, first of all, of course, art, it was something which connected us. Yes, again, he's Bahraini. And again, he was interested in art. He liked, everything about art, but he didn't know much. So here, actually, I started teaching him also the vision about art, how to see artworks, how to understand them, about artists also, about styles. And after one class, only unfortunately, he is not painting anymore, but after one class, he met my family, and they came to Bahrain. My mom and dad, they come to Bahrain pretty often. My sister still lives here, so I'm not alone. And my mom and dad, they come pretty often, so they met my husband, and after only 6 months, he proposed to me. And we very fast got married. We got married in Bahrain. As I was dreaming, it was the wedding on the beach. and it was amazing. So I would say that here we can talk about the difference in the cultures, difference in the religions, a difference in the way how we was raised, but in reality we are the same. We are very similar. Our philosophy of life, how we see things, it's exactly the same. And it's not about religion, it's about the way how we're looking at the certain thing, what is wrong, what is right. Philosophy of life, same. We never have any arguments about anything because we are totally similar. So that's amazing thing actually. So we are really always, I love the Bahraini part of him. Like I love to go on Friday to his family, all these, cultural moments. I took it. He have pure Russian soul. He loved Russia. We traveled there. He learned Russian. He actually, I think, will speak Russian better than I speak Arabic right now. So that's also a good thing. Big flexibility and understanding and also love for each other's culture. It's what make our relationship amazing and us as perfect, together, even though we're totally from the different sides of world. The one interesting event which happened with me recently was the Art Gulf Symposium, or it's also called Art Gulf Forum, which happened the last month in Jaffa. It was the amazing event. I think it was one of the first events which was organized by Bahrain Art Association, Contemporary Art Association, and there was more than 160 artists from 17 countries. I was the only one who was representing Russia. There was also American artists, Colombian, and all over the Gulf as well. So I was very proud and honored to represent my country on this symposium where all of these artists not only collaborated together, but we created the amazing artworks during 3 days of symposium. And recently we had the exhibition where also it was amazing to see all these great artworks. I would say that it's also a very good step for Bahrain in art arena in general, and of course in Gulf arena, but also in the world arena of art, to represent the artists from here. We have lots of talents in Bahrain, and that's the amazing thing about culture here, that every year I see how art developed in Bahrain, and it's perfect. And on this event I also got the award for the talented artwork, which I was very honored to receive. For now, as I will continue with the moment of how Bahrain developing in art scene, in art stage, my hope that I could one day open the proper and serious art school in Bahrain. Inshallah, it will happen one day. Right now I have wishes to, of course, develop my art, to continue create as many exhibitions, to connect artists all around Gulf, but concentrate right now on Bahrain to make a certain community of artists where we could collaborate, where we can talk, we can discuss our ideas and create beautiful art, and also represent Bahrain on the world on the world exhibitions. And I'm really happy to help with this, because I honestly feel myself, at least half Bahraini in a way. So for future, I really hope to develop the art and culture in Bahrain more, and to open the art school, hopefully. So in general, my everyday happens right now. I'm concentrated on my art studio. I'm waking up, it depends, it totally depends on the time, but I normally wake up around 9-10 in the morning. And after this, I don't really have time for any breakfast. I'm going to my art studio, which is located in Jufair, and I directly have lessons. Lesson starts as early as 9 in the morning, some 9-10, depends on wishes of the students. It's all individual, so students decide. It's very flexible. Students decide with the timing when they wish to arrive, because it's individual classes, it's not a group classes. So I have the lessons normally from 9-10 in the morning till 8 in the evening. During this time, sometimes I have non-stop students all day, non-stop lessons, non-stop master classes and workshops, or sometimes if I have certain breaks in between, I'm working on my own art. So if I have 1-2 hours during the day for me, I try to create something, one masterpiece, or at least start some artwork. And after this, around 8 o'clock in the evening, I have last workshop or masterclass, and after that, if I have some chance, I will go to with my husband to restaurant, and to spend some time, and that's it. I just back home, and I spend time also with cats. We have 2 cats so with them as well. This is normal days, but of course we're not talking about weekends. When weekends, they're more busy with my own activities, where I'm doing the plein air. Plein air is painting outside. We have a group of artists, Bahraini artists, who organize this group, where we go. For example, last time we went to the Muharraq market. We was actually painting there live. It's totally different feeling and different emotion when you're painting not in your studio but outside. You see the colors, crispy colors, and the air, and basically it's all moving, the sun moving. It's amazing feeling. So all group of us were going to painting outside, and sometimes on the weekend as well as that, I am participating in the Spanish club, which is a very nice activity too. I do speak Spanish sometimes, so I try not to forget that. As well as that, I try to learn Arabic, so I do some self-studying with Arabic language, and I do photography from time to time too, but again, this is only if I have extra time from my workshops, I would say like this. So this is pretty much how my week goes.